Roadshows and Stuff. I'm your host, Doug McClain.
Frank Mancina, what's going on? What do you think is going to happen in the future?
And no, and that's why we eventually had to turn him in. He just wasn't being honest to the rest of the kids. So,
It's a shame.
are we recording, Frank? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest installment of Roadshows and Stuff. I'm your host, Doug McClain, Vice President of Partnerships at MRA, headquartered in Detroit, Michigan, the United States of America, joined by my co-host, Frank Mancina.
That's correct, Doug.
How many N's in there?
One.
Unexpected. I thought you were going to do more. That's good. That was good. Amazing topic today. I mean, spectacular. Something that's close to home for both of us, as you can just tell visually by looking at us. That's working out the body, not the mind.
So we're talking about exercising on the road.
Yes.
There's obviously lots of challenges that come along with that. Right?
Yeah.
So one of the challenges is just having the motivation to actually do that.
I really think it all boils down to that, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Having the mental aptitude to like knowing the distances you're driving, the amount of physical work that you're doing. Oh man, just spending hours behind the wheel, hours sitting around for events to end, paying attention, supervising things. And then when it's all said and done, getting the motivation to get to a gym. Even thinking about it, I'm tired.
No, I agree. I'm also tired, but no, it comes down to that motivation and finding a hotel that actually has the gym that you can use or that's one of the things, right? Is does the gym is there a gym that's functioning in the hotel? Is there a nearby gym or, is it just the good old, 3 dumbbells and
3 dumbbells and a treadmill.
Right.
Yep. It's my first novel. You could staying at a hotel. Usually when you stay at the cheaper, less expensive hotels that are not full service, like Hilton's or Marriott's, things like that. It's like a room. It's like a closet with a 30-year-old treadmill and, maybe like an elliptical machine or something that looks like it hasn't been serviced in 25 years. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. But you can compensate for that a little bit by not necessarily having to go to a gym. Because if you think about all the work that you're doing, physically setting up a trailer, setting up an exhibit, interacting with people, eating intermittently, it kind of almost combines with our eating on the road,
It does.
that topic in an overarching sort of approach to your lifestyle or health in general.
Yeah, because, one thing too is getting in that habit, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Even getting past that, 28 days of, creating, building that habit. Once you're having that habit of working out and exercising, it's almost like your body is telling you need to do it. So it almost creates that motivation for you.
Yeah, I've almost said making it part of your like non-negotiable schedule every day. Just looking at it as if it's something you have to do before you can go to bed that night. Whether you do it first thing in the morning, last thing at the end of the day, but getting in that 30 minutes of cardio, of weight training, whatever. Speaking back, talking about the challenges, which we've kind of gone over a little bit, like having the discipline to do it, sitting for long periods of time. I remember even driving, having an 8-9 hour drive just in a chase vehicle or support vehicle, and still then getting to the hotel and just being like, I just want to get settled. I want to get checked in, get all my stuff out of my luggage, get ready for the event tomorrow or the day after, or setting up, whatever. And even doing a long drive and setting up, I think realistically, you should almost look at it from the perspective of, let me try to do it 2 or 3 times this week, not necessarily a daily activity, because that could be too much. It is work-life balance, literally and figuratively, because you could have a really aggressive schedule where you're in 3 different cities. They may be close together, but checking in and out of the hotels, tearing up the exhibit, setting it up, you run into any hiccups with like tech or damage to the trailer or furniture or the experience, you have to address all that stuff, right? And that's just a time vacuum. But when things do go well, and speaking from experience, and I've talked about this before, I used to be on one program, which was so beneficial because we'd be on site or in a market for 3 or 4 days. So I would find a gym online, and then I would go and negotiate a 1-week pass. And usually it was, $20, $30, but it was worth it to me because that was, part of my lifestyle. I was single at the time. I didn't have the need to go home that often. And, I was working with a great drive team, as well, Lynn and Lloyd Bunch. And I would do that. And it came naturally, but I would notice that during an aggressive schedule where we did have to move around a lot, oh man, it just fell by the wayside. So the way I would compensate is knowing that I had a lot of, strenuous activity in setting up, tearing down, getting the exhibit ready, is I would try and balance it with a healthier diet, right? Knowing that you couldn't do that cardio, knowing that you couldn't lift weights, or just saying to myself, like I was saying earlier, okay, this week it's going to be a crapshoot, knowing my schedule as far in advance as I do, I'm only going to be able to work out 3 times this week, So
and that's
you're in
really,
market, Frank.
I was going to say that, and that's really all you really need at the end of the day is like 3 times a week. 3
because it's not an easy life to begin with, right?
Even making the small little decisions like walking to the store as opposed to taking the $5 Uber,
Yeah.
Those little decisions. I know it is very difficult after a long day. For me, that's why when I'm on the road, I try to stick with my initial, my own workout schedule, which is me waking up first thing in the morning.
Yes.
Getting it out of the way,
Sure. Yeah.
So I try to keep that when I'm on the road.
Sure.
And when I've been on the road in the past, right? So it just makes for a little bit longer day, and you just have to be disciplined enough to go to bed early. But but to your point earlier, knowing my schedule ahead, I know if I can work out, X amount of days this week, I'll be kind of good.
Sure. Yeah, you're mentally good, but adjusting schedules is huge too, because if you have to be up at, you have to be at the truck or you have to be at the exhibit at like 8:00. That means you got to get up at 6, no questions asked, which means you have to go to bed at like 10.
Yeah.
Alone in your room, staring out the window, crying. So Frank, you get into a new market, you get into a new city. How do you find a gym? How do you do it?
Doug, I think it's called Google. Google's a major
but
search
still,
engine.
Even in 2022, did I just give away the year? Even in 2022, it's still kind of a crapshoot, especially like in a smaller market, if the gym you're going to is decent. Because you can only.
I was gonna say you could always get those memberships to larger franchises.
Oh, chains, sure.
Right, that have gyms everywhere. So you pay the $40 whatever it costs, and you can go all across North America.
Yeah, sure.
For me, I'm honestly I'm looking on like TripAdvisor, and I'm cross-referencing people's comments and looking at photos of the gym to even see if the hotel even has gyms.
Sure.
I'm a big I'll bring like the bands. I'll bring those little bands with you, and I'll just there was this couple that I always used to watch on YouTube, and they're like specialized in the bands, and like during COVID, that's when everything was shut down, I was always following these people. So I kind of made it a habit that when I traveled, I brought these little resistance bands, and they help.
Sure.
Something.
Yeah, and you're right. Finding the motivation. You know what helps with motivation? 200 to 300 grams of caffeine. Either smoked or inhaled 20 to 30 minutes before your workout. I've noticed though, when you do adjust the schedule and you work out first thing in the morning, because I'm not a morning workout person, like my joints and everything else have to like naturally lubricate throughout the day. So I just feel better after work, but man, I have to do pre-workout now. Like there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. But if I do that first thing in the morning, man, I peter out at about 12:30, 1:30 in the afternoon. I like hit a wall, and there is time. Oh God, it is tough. And then you're dry.
Go ahead.
I
was gonna say, you make a good point where you could potentially supplement and which could help you.
Sure. I mean, supplementation is a good point in general. Taking your branched chain amino acids, multivitamin, taking supplements whenever you're on the road to compensate for bad diet or lack of choices when you're in various markets. The only problem with a national chain that you're talking about is sometimes even though you're in a major market, that chain could be 20 minutes away, or that brick and mortar,
Yeah.
So you'd have to find transportation there. And if you don't have a chase vehicle, or you have something that's not conducive to like just driving around town, like a giant pickup truck or something that's carrying around generators, that can be tough. And that's why mom and pop gyms, I'm telling you, some of the craziest stories I have from the road are like being in like the bowels of like Missouri and Alabama and working out in the craziest backwoods gyms ever. Just like, a 20 by 15 foot room, and there's like 9 dudes in there at 11 p.m. working out, and you're the total stranger with all your stuff. Yeah, I used to do it all the time. I'm telling you, I could write a book working on every major market. But if it wasn't important in my life going into this lifestyle, like, mobile marketing campaigns, whatever, I don't know if I would pick it up. I'd probably do like the weight bands and the stuff you're talking about. We had a driver who used to travel with kettlebells too and do kettlebell workouts, which are great. But again, you'd have to have 14 to 18 cups of black coffee prior to beginning that in your hotel room. Or remember, there used to be the P90X and all that stuff.
The P90X, that's right. Tony Blanks, whatever his name was.
Yes, Tony Blanks. It's now Tony Unemployed. But you would always have to get a hotel room on the ground floor of the building, because if you were like 2 or 3, you'd be like jumping up and down with your body weight. Like the front desk phone would be like ringing off the hook, because it'd be 4 a.m. and you're doing like 3,000 bumpies. Or is it burpees?
Burpees.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you were paying attention.
But that's but I think with the Tony Banks or Blanks, whatever his name was,
no one knows.
Provided was, at least guidance.
Sure.
Right? So now with it's easily, people can easily find videos on YouTube.
It's streaming now, right? Yeah, you used to have to be relying on DVDs and VHS tapes and stuff like that in order to get motivation. Prior to that, Richard Simmons,
heard of
1970s, 80s, where I think you actually got more out of shape working out with him. Okay, can we edit that out, Joe?
Anyways.
So that's it. Yeah, it boils down to motivation. What's important to you? Trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle when you have an unpredictable schedule, you have a heavy workload physically and mentally. You're dealing with clients, a lot of responsibilities, heavy lifting, literally and figuratively. It's just tough. It's tough to do it. I'll be the first to admit it. And I was addicted to it for years, and I always made it part of my life. But yeah, you have to make the mental decision that this will be part of my lifestyle moving forward, and I will make time for this. But there's no way around the fact that it is incredibly difficult to stick to a program.
But we also have to remind everyone the benefits of it, right?
Oh, of course. That's what it's all about.
The short-term, challenges and the hard, making it hard to wake up and all the, all these little sacrifices you're making.
Yeah.
Help with the benefits that it provides you, not only for right now but in the future, right? So
sure
I think they outweigh they outweigh the challenges right now, right?
Yeah, they do. And there's always regret looking back. You're like, God, I really should have worked out yesterday because I had 3 chocolate pies when I got back to my room. Or, I had the opportunity last week to do it, or the week before, and I didn't. And then you just start feeling like crap, and then it spirals. And yeah, definitely benefit. And you have to see that too as part of the big picture, I guess. So,
right.
Well, Frank.
I just want to leave everyone with, I think it was, if you work on your wellness now, you won't be forced to work on your illness in the future.
Oh my God.
Something like
wellness and illness. It's a play on words. I love it.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It was
wow. Yeah. You wrote that, didn't you?
I wrote it.
You're like a modern day poet, exercise poet. Frank, amazing discussion. Yes. We shared a lot. We cried a little. We laughed a little bit. People learned. People forgot. But yeah, it was good. It was good. That's a good topic.
But now what are people waiting for right now?
Oh my God, what are they waiting for? Cue the music. Stuff. Oh my God, here we go. Frank, whose turn is it today?
It was mine, but now I think you said you had something.
Well, yours workout related and it had something to do with push-ups and pull-ups. So if you could only take 3 physical objects with you on a 1-month trip to Europe, What would they be? Personal items. 1 month trip to Europe. I'm offering no other information. Must have things in the Frank Mancina lifestyle briefcase. What are they?
Oh,
It could be well, no, it could be cosmetic. It could be a charm.
I have nothing with me.
You have nothing with you.
Except for these three things.
Well, okay, you have clothes and underwear and a pair of shoes and crap like that. But what are three things that you would have to travel with? Nose hair trimmer.
Probably
tweezers.
My phone. Could I bring that?
Well, that could also be an assumed item.
Well, not necessarily.
Oh, yeah, okay, let's make the phone assumed.
Okay.
Like, what we're looking for, Frank, are like 3 tidbits into your life that people may not know about you.
Okay,
we've got a lot of emails.
My shaver, my like peanut shaver.
Peanut.
Yeah, it's like the wall peanut. It's like it's a brand.
Is it electric? So you don't need like the foam and the juice? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I always do number 1.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So I have like a afternoon shadow all the time. 5 o'clock shadow.
This is good. This is good. People
want to know
this. So your peanut shaver.
My hair, my product, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. What is that?
Oh,
we need detail.
Like
need deets. No,
deets.
deets.
Fruitus.
Oh,
it's like a styling gel, Doug. It's a styling
it's good.
gel.
It's good. You can
I
tell.
don't want to lose you. I don't know what you use, but
I use what's known as nature. Rainwater and sunshine. That forms my hair. Okay.
So that and then
the fructose hair product, peanut shaver.
I'd probably bring the bands. Yeah, man. Get a quick
You
workout.
can't. Yes, okay. You don't know if you're in Madrid, you don't know if you're going to be able to find a gym.
No,
That's a good point.
Work on your work on the room.
I didn't tell you were living on a ship. So that's the other bit.
How about you, Doug? What would you bring?
Tweezers.
For your unibrow?
No, I'm addicted to nose hair, ear hair, and eyebrows. Joe, can we edit that out? Second thing would be a second set of tweezers.
You really thought about this before you
I didn't
asked the
think about
question.
this at all. Tweezers. What else? My AirPods.
Oh.
Because I need music to work out and live. And I guess that would mean my phone, which is with me, it must have Spotify on it. Tweezers, AirPods, and my sunglasses. What?
Oh,
you forgot
nice.
sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
Yes. Because therefore you're not walking through the bazaar in Madrid. I think I mentioned Madrid twice now. Looking for sunglasses. Now you got the Frank Mancina originals. All right. They're already on you. You're Yeti. That's another thing.
This is true. It's really good.
Yes. Thank you. God, could we use an endorsement from Yeti? If anybody's listening, any ad money would be great. Anything, literally. Okay. Frank, another great episode. If you want more information about what do people do? Social media?
If you want more information about MRA, follow us at www.gomra.com or follow us on our social media channels.
Social media chats. So that's it. Another amazing episode. I think we got one more left this season.
That's right. One more episode, Doug. And what is it?
We are talking about reindeer, friend or foe. No, I don't know. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Nice.
I forgot to press record.
Oh, don't even.